post Orlando, waking up on our own with a kitchen and access to food. So we are grocery people. We love to eat out. Man, I love to go out for a good dinner. That is just who we are. However, when we are home, we have 5 kids, 5, 9 and under, and eating out with 5 kids is literally the worst. It is the worst thing that I would want to do. So we do a lot of our food at home. Every once in a while, Andy and I order in. We have a couple kind of restaurants that take good care of us when we're at home and we get our stuff taken care of. So we have a couple restaurants that we order in from, mom and dad only, which I know sounds hateful. I get it, but sometimes that's just our sanity. We don't have access to a lot of babysitters. We don't have as much family as we'd want close by to help with kiddos. And so we kind of do date nights in when we do order in. So last night we went to a real restaurant. We sat down, somebody else took care of it. They poured our water. I know that sounds like a silly one. Somebody else refilling my water cup is filling my cup. And so today we are back in the kitchen though. And it is super fun because you're gonna see something amazing. We don't have to cook 18 eggs today. We don't have to cook 18 eggs today.
Just 2 or 3, 4.
5?
4, 5.
6.
Okay, we'll cook some eggs.
We'll see. We're gonna cook some eggs. I have an obsession with nice eggs. And so these are these blue brown eggs. And the yolks, y'all, you have to see the yolks when it's time. We're gonna make some omelets out of these. We got some thick cut bacon. We've got some cheese. We're gonna cook it in Kerrygold. And Andy's actually gonna be in charge of cooking today because you know what he told me I got to do? What do I get to do?
Go to the beach, lay out in the sun.
Lay out in the sun.
Oh, there it is.
So I got coffee ready. I'm gonna make him a couple of the little muffins from our Orlando trip. We got to get fresh baked sweets and treats that I know are super clean. I actually even know the chefs, which is very fun. And I know what they put in them, and not just the love, but how clean the ingredients are. So we're gonna do some muffins for Andy with some fresh preserves from her. Let's come over here. Let's take a look at that real quick. So we've got these incredible vanilla muffins. She put like a powdered swerve on top, and so they almost have like a glaze. And this is all Keto Terra treats. We did a short with her, correct, Andy?
We did.
In Orlando, you did a short with Tara, talked a little bit about what she does.
But you had to be there to get her stuff.
You did have to be there.
Yeah.
So we showed up partially to make sure we were well fed.
To get the goodies.
Well fed.
We wanted the goodies.
So we ordered muffins to bring home with us. We're going to freeze some of those. But this morning, Andy wanted some muffins. We're going to do some of her preserves. Those are a couple things that you can order online. I'm just going to shout out my friend real quick.
Yeah.
She does sell her preserves on her website. She sells her muffin mixes.
I didn't get to try any because the girls ate all of it before I even had some the last time we ordered.
We literally got raspberry or the mixed berry, I think is what we got,
Yeah.
and the blueberry last time.
Yeah, they were gone
This one
in
was
like
gone.
2 seconds.
We never got to try it until a couple nights ago. We put it on her cheesecake. So she is the one that was selling the cheesecakes there. So this is kind of what this morning's going to look like. We've been fasting how long?
16 hours.
16. So we didn't run back in and start going like, oh, we're going to do a 24-hour fast. I want to talk about something for a minute. Just a hot second. We played hard this weekend. We did not eat off plan. We did not eat non-keto food. We just ate an abundance of it. And we ate
over many different hours of time.
many hours. If you're going to get your girl up at 6:45 for a 5K,
we're going to eat.
Triple J, we need to have a discussion. If you're gonna get me up that early in the morning, I'm gonna need coffee. And I wish I wasn't dependent on it. I wish I could tell you I was just like one of those ladies that just runs on natural ketones and I don't need it. I got 5 kids.
Give us the
so
coffee.
I drink the coffee. So if I'm gonna be up at 6:45, I'm gonna drink the coffee. But we were still hanging out with friends at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night every night. And so some of those nights we had friends like Lenny, Rave Keto Foods. He brought for us to try some of his brownies and his cornbread around the campfire one night. So we were like sitting out next to the fire pit in Orlando, trying his brownies, which we've never gotten to try, and we've known Lenny for almost 2 years. So all these kinds of things go into just saying, this is the enjoyment of it. This is part of having a really, really pleasant, fun time. We had the keto treats. We even both had a couple keto drinks, like drinks, like non-kid drinks, like what you drink when you don't have 5 kids with you. And so we did all that, but that means some days we were literally having like a flipped eating window. 16 hours of eating is what it felt like. Yeah. And I don't think we've done that in a long time. So I felt it. We both kind of came home, not home. This feels like home. We're at my parents' home. And we came down south into the south part of Florida. We have a beautiful house we get to stay in for the next 3 days. And so we kind of came back and we're like, we could eat out every meal if we wanted to. We have no kids. but I want to cook my own food. I want to know what's going to go into it. I want to start my eating it when I want to start it, and I want to finish it when I want to finish it. And so I think that this morning's breakfast is kind of resetting, but I just want to say we did not go into 24-hour fasts. We did not say I'm going to fast for 3 days because I was so bad. I was so bad. I was terrible.
You couldn't.
Andy, I was crazy. I ate at 2:00 in the morning one night. We had chocolate with a friend. We tried their chocolate. No. There's no
just
punishment.
back to normal.
I am and y'all, you're new. We're new. Not you're not new to YouTube. We're new to your space. I want you to know who we are. I am a whole ass adult. I made those decisions, and I put that on my Instagram today without the ass. You're probably gonna see more of the real and the raw here on the YouTube. But I'm a whole adult that made all of those decisions. I'm not getting punished. I'm not getting disciplined at the end of the weekend in a way that makes me feel shame or guilt. I'm gonna say, okay, what can I do first? I can step back into 16-8. In the next 3 days that we're in Florida, I'm gonna do 16-8 because it feels good. My body needs a rest. I feel like I need it. Not because I feel guilty about what I ate or how I participated in community and fun and friends this weekend. And so we're gonna step in slow. I am a 18 to 19 hour faster normally.
Not gonna lie, I made my coffee an hour early.
Andy, in an hour, 15 hours for him.
No
That's
guilt.
Okay.
Don't even care.
No guilt. He wanted to hang out with me and have a whole conversation, and this man was like half speaking words. He needed coffee. That's
I had to have it.
Okay. So we're gonna put together this meal. We're gonna throw together some omelets. We've got some ratio yogurt. We have some fresh berries. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be fun, but I'm gonna know every single ingredient that goes into my mouth until we eat dinner if we eat out. And so that's kind of the fun of getting to say, I love experiencing and showing you all that you can go to any restaurant and eat off the menu. That is a big part of what I love to show people, is that we're traveling all over the country and we order off menus all over the country. But when we have the opportunity to cook our meals, which is 355 days a year.
Quite often.
And we cook 1, 2, 3 every day. We got all those kids. We cook for all of us. The kids are low carb. We participate slightly different in some things, but all the food that's in our house is accessible to any of us. That's a big deal to me. So we're back in the kitchen, able to put real ingredients. And I just for a second, I feel like the yolks on this. So I'm gonna make Andy cut it and edit it for a minute. And he's now my like videographer, editor.
It's a new skill.
We're gonna figure all this out.
You guys let me know if it looks good.
We have none of these skills. We're not walking in with any of these skills.
We shouldn't have these skills. I don't know if it's necessary.
And I want you to be patient with us, because here's the thing. I'm okay with saying I have to be bad at something long enough that I get good. I was bad at keto long enough that I kind of got good at it. I was bad enough at Instagram long enough, and I literally was like, wait, what are hashtags? Wait, what are stories? I didn't do stories until like
Oh, you didn't do a reel until like 6 months ago.
I know.
We
and
don't
I'm
even
still
know.
like, am I doing it right?
What are
That's
these?
okay. Sometimes you have to be bad to get good. And so that's part of our process here. We're going to show you a little bit
Look
about
how
what breakfast
good this
looks
is gonna
like.
be.
But these are my favorite eggs because the yolks, I'm just going to say, they're like almost auburn. They're so golden. They're almost, they're just stunning. And so I've spent the money on the bougie eggs because we're at home and we're not going to cook 18 a day. So here we go. We're going to have breakfast this morning. Thanks so much for being part of all of this. We're on tour here in Marco Island, Florida right now, but it is not the whole Daniels family on tour. Mom and Daddy are on tour.
Woohoo!
Andy and Mary Daniels are by ourselves, and it is a good day, and we cannot wait to get back to them, but we are going to enjoy every single minute until we get home Wednesday night. Not even an egg guy, but we're getting there. We're working on it, and believe it or not, Ebony, the keto boss chick, didn't take 40 minutes to make.
It didn't. Ebony, I was able to make it in like 10 minutes.
It's amazing.
It was so fast.
That omelets could get cooked. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. We had so much fun in Orlando, but there was a little bit of a wait time on those omelets. So I am so excited to be able to eat this, and I'm gonna eat it out there. There. I'm going to try it here. So that Andy knows that I love him and I'm so proud of him, and it's delicious.
Does it taste good?
Yes, it does. And what's my thought process with eggs? Salt, pepper, and? What's the third one?
Cheese?
No, the other seasoning.
Garlic?
Garlic. Garlic. You gotta get that garlic in
Cheese
there.
is a seasoning.
Eggs taste so much better with garlic.
I'm vying for cheese to be officially recognized.
I feel like that counts.
As a
So
seasoning.
cheese and bacon in here.
There's 2.5 pieces of bacon.
All right, it's a good start to a good day, and I'm gonna be doing it poolside. So I feel like this is about as good as it gets. So not everything has to be hard. Getting back on track doesn't have to be difficult. Getting back to doing what you know you do, like that's the other thing too. Janelle, Keto Yardy. Y'all, I don't know if any of these people have YouTube. I'm gonna shout out their Instagram handles because I know their Instagram handles. Keto Yardy talks about going on vacation and you just come right back home. If you go on vacation all week, you don't just not show up to work on Monday when you come back. You go back home, you get back into doing what you do.
We're still on vacation. We're showing up to work.
We're still on vacation, but we're gonna show up because this is different than being with our keto friends and our keto community and making sure that we are in community in the moments that they were awake and around. They have different wake sleep hours than I did. So I got us up with the first of them and I stayed up with the latest of them.
I did not get up. Sorry.
You did not.
Sorry, everyone.
You did not.
You won't find me
I did all
before
of it
10
though.
a.m.
So I took on everyone's sleep wake hours and was like, you up early? I'm up early. You going to bed late? I'm staying up late. So I could spend as much time with everybody. We get to choose ourselves this week. And so this is how we're getting back on track. Nothing crazy. This isn't me not eating. I'm not saying, oh my gosh, I don't deserve food because I was so crazy and I had some keto cheesecakes. No, you just
deserve delicious food.
I deserve delicious food and I deserve to feel good. And it deserves to give my body a little break when I want to break and to get back to eating when it's time to get back to eating, but I just came home. All right. You can't just record me. Okay, this YouTube thing. Y'all, you can't see all of it. You can't see all of it all the time.
I
Literally.
think they might want to see you enjoying it though.
It's so good.
It's delicious.
It's really where I'm enjoying it. It's who I'm enjoying it with. But this.
Is that the ocean? Is that the ocean?
Yep, that's the canal going out to the ocean.
Yeah.
That's a boat. That's a pool.
Yeah.
I'm where I'm supposed to be.
You got a good view, don't you?
I'm where I'm supposed to be.
There you go.
Y'all, right now we live in Kansas City, Missouri. That's the question. No, we do not live in an RV full time. Oh, hey. We do not live in an RV full time. We live in Kansas City. That's our home base. And so there is goals. I have goals. I've had a lot of goals, and some of those include being able to have my husband and I be home working for ourselves, not for anybody else. Those have happened. I wanted a big old family, a bunch of babies, got all those babies. I wanted an RV. That goal happened last year, but I'm just letting you know, this is not my house. This is not my house. I want to be where the sun shines, where there is an ocean nearby, where palm trees are.
370 days of the year, right?
Yep, with a pool in the backyard, and I want to be able to see the water. I know I can't, at the top of this market, beachfront property is, I'm not going to. Someday though, someday. So as you start to watch us, all 420 of you, 420 now, 420 of you, as you watch us, I just want you to remember these first videos that I said, this is me dream building. This is me saying, this is the life I want. I want to raise my kids where the sun is shining and where they can put their feet in the water and where the sand is and where the seagulls and the cranes, I want it all. So this is me just kind of, I'm literally sitting here and setting intention, setting what I want, setting
you got a vision?
I got a big old vision, and I've talked about it. I've walked Andy through the house we're going to have someday on the water with the ocean, probably 13 years. So I've said, this is what it looks like. This is how you walk down the stairs. This is what the master does. This is how the windows open up. And for 13 years, I've walked through that house. I don't live there yet, but I'll recognize it when I see it because I've seen it over and over and over and over again. And when I get down there, I can smell bacon and eggs cooking. That is part of the. I engaged ever since when I walked through that vision. But I can smell the bacon and eggs cooking. Now I know that Andy can make an omelet. Now that I know my husband can make an omelet like this, now the vision is including Andy making this omelet in that kitchen. And I walk through into the kitchen. All the kids are there, and you can see that water in the background. The pool's right about here. Then there's the water. It's coming. But there's a lot of when we take this time with each other. Andy and I are very, very goal-focused, future-oriented people. And sometimes it can make it difficult for us to be present. Doing stuff like this doesn't happen very often because we're just so in it all the time. And we don't stop and kind of go, this moment's worth remembering. This moment's worth being important. And we have worked hard on that the last 4 years since he's been home full-time. But I think part of the reason we get to live the life that we live isn't because it was always there. It's because for 13 years together, we identified where we wanted to go and what we wanted to accomplish next. I have some next goals, obviously, for my body. I woke up, I got on the scale this morning. My body is not where I wanted it to be. And I might do a whole video on what weight gain looks like when it goes from a creep to a slip. When it goes from that kind of inching to sliding. That's happened since KetoCon. and I don't blame KetoCon, but I want to just say something. I'm going to do a whole perspective on it. Not in this video, in another video. I'm going to talk about that it took, I was in maintenance for over a year. It took 6 months from the beginning of the year to creep up about 8 pounds. It took the last four weeks to add 10, to add an additional 10, which is an additional 10. And some of that and some of kind of the enjoyment or the seasons of life we're in is, it's pretty cool not to be in dieting mode full time. It's pretty cool not to be in calorie cutting full time. It's pretty cool for the first time in my life, I had a year and a half, pretty close to it, a year and a half, that I got to eat and enjoy food in a way I've never, ever been able to do. Not when I was big, not when I was at my smallest, was I able to just say, man, I eat because I love food. I love the way it makes me feel. I love food that makes me feel good. I had complete food freedom. And yes, the weight's gone up a teensy bit. It started to creep. I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. But when I'm purposeful and smart and dug in, I think, on my goals in every area, I start to go in on all of them. We don't do one thing. It was so funny. One of my favorite talks. Watch Autumn Keto. Watch Autumn Keto if you don't follow her on YouTube. She is a YouTube sensation. She is a friend. And she talked about not pulling out all the tools all at once. Don't start fasting and start calorie cutting and doing your macros and doing your workouts. And I was sat there and I'm like, oh, she's talking to me. She's talking to me. So today it really was. I was like, I'm going to step back into 16-8, not go for a 24-hour. I'm going to step back. Last night we talked about going all in and starting weights and everything. I was like, we need to go for a good walk. And during that walk, we had 4 minutes where we went for a good jog. I got my heart rate up. So it is kind of learning to use the tools that are at your disposal that we all know. And if you don't know them yet, I got a whole lot of friends for you to follow. And I hope you stick around long enough that I can give a couple good tips. But all the tools that are in our tool belt can help us get back to where we were. And I think that that's been the important part of my keto journey, is identifying the goal, identifying the reality of that version of my life. And it was a reality of that version of my body, and a reality of that version of how we wanted our days to look. And that whole deciding we wanted to be time and money free meant we had to become entrepreneurs. It was almost like it led backwards. We had to figure out, what do people who have time and money freedom do? We had to not work for somebody else. And so we decided that's what we were going to do next. And for 7 years, we said Andy was going to come home. And for 7 years, he didn't. But for 4 years, he has been. And those kinds of things, they might take time. And if you're in the point right now that you're going, I really want to sit and set what I want out of life. I want to sit and set where I want to go. Take the time to do the exercise. Take the time to take that practice. Get that tool out of your tool belt and really be purposeful in understanding, if I want to know where I want to go, I've got to decide where I want to go. And I tell people this all the time. I'm like, if you don't have a destination, I can't give you a roadmap. If you tell me, Mary, I want to get thinner, okay. I want to lose weight, okay. I want to get job optional. I want to be an entrepreneur full time, okay. What does that look like? Where is that destination? If you're wanting to go to California, I don't need to give you a roadmap to Florida. If you think that you want to, go off on an island, I need to make sure you got a boat, not a car. We got to make sure you are equipped with what it's going to take to get where you want to go. And I think that that's kind of this next part, is it's 9 weeks out. 9 weeks from today, I will be on that table getting this done. And it really is about, what do I want my whole life, the whole lifestyle design to look like as I move closer to that next version of my identity, and getting purposeful with it. I hope you're doing it today. I hope you're sitting and setting. I'm going to sit and set and eat this omelet in the sun, right where I want to be, and remember this moment as I move towards the things that are going to get me closer to this being my full-time reality.